Boris Johnson has vowed to push ahead with re-imposing the state pension triple lock next year, despite warnings a large rise risks fueling inflation. Downing Street today confirmed ministers still intend to return to the old formula for determining pension increases after suspending its implementation last year. With inflation set to hit double figures by the end of the year, recipients will see their payments rise by more than 10% in 2023. Under the triple lock, pensions increase each year by the highest out of average earnings, inflation or 2.5%. There had been growing fears the triple lock mechanism could be postponed for a second time in a row after the government urged restraint to be shown by employers when it comes to pay rises. The Bank of England and economists have warned that increases in pay in line with inflation risk further pushing up the increase in prices. Downing Street is desperate to get a grip on the spiraling cost of living crisis and help bring inflation back under control. Mr. Johnson told the Cabinet on Pay this morning, "It is right that we reward our hard-working public sector workers with a pay rise, but this needs to be proportionate and balanced." Sustained higher levels of inflation would have a far bigger impact on people's pay packets in the long run, destroying savings and extending the difficulties we're facing for longer. Despite the remarks, Number 10 has eased concerns pensioners will be impacted by the drive to curb increases. The Prime Minister's official spokesman said, "The view is that if we were to chase inflation in this way, by matching all demands on public sector pay, some of which would involve matching inflation and adding additional on top of that, that would be inflationary." That's what in the long term would actually make people feel like they had less money going forward. Asked about whether raising pensions in line with inflation would be inflationary, he said, "The Chancellor needs to consider it all in the round and the view is that we can meet that commitment without stoking those inflationary pressures." But we did take difficult decisions with regards to the triple lock, a temporary one-year suspension. Pensions Secretary Theresa Coffey announced to MPs in the House of Commons last September that the triple lock would not apply to 2022 in order to avoid large rises caused by a statistical anomaly. She said the end of the COVID furlough scheme had seen average wages rise at a rate of over 8% a year. Instead, the minister said pensions would increase by 3.1%, the inflation rate, in what she described as a fair and reasonable decision. The triple lock was first introduced in 2010 by the coalition government and is protected by law. The one-year suspension had to be voted on by MPs before it could be imposed. Many Conservative MPs were frustrated about the suspension when it was pushed through after the party pledged to maintain the triple lock in its 2019 election manifesto. Campaigners criticized the government at the time for letting down the elderly by abandoning the pledge.